Under the bright lights of the light heavyweight battlefield, the atmosphere inside the arena feels like a storm tightening its grip. The crowd hums with restless electricity, knowing they are moments away from witnessing a young phenom's next step toward greatness. At center ring stands Dmitry Bivol, the icy calm technician from Russia, laser sharp in focus, walking in with the poise of a man who treats every fight like a calculated mission, still undefeated, still climbing, still sharpening every edge. The announcer's words echo through the walls. The reigning WBA interim light heavyweight champion, Dmitry Bivol. His expression doesn't change. He doesn't smile, doesn't flinch, doesn't blink longer than necessary. For him, this is routine, another battlefield, another opponent, another puzzle to dismantle with precision and patience. Across from him stands Samuel, main event Clarkson, tough, rugged, determined, a fighter who clawed his way up from grit and grit alone. Ranked 13 by the WBA, Clarkson carries the look of a man who knows he's the underdog, but refuses to believe the story has already been written. He paces with an anxious energy, shaking loose his arms, absorbing every sound that pours out from the expected fans. When the referee calls them together, obey my commands at all times, protect yourself at all times, touch gloves, good luck. The contrast becomes clear. Clarkson is heat and emotion. Bivol is cold steel. The moment they separate, the tension snaps like a tripwire. You can feel it. This isn't just another fight. It's a collision of two different philosophies of combat. Bivol, the master of balance and distance, meticulous in every step. Clarkson, the brawler warrior, who believes pressure can crack any wall if pushed hard enough. As the bell rings for round one, the audience erupts, knowing they are witnessing the early chapters of a rising champion's legend. And a desperate challenger's attempt to rewrite fate. The arena breathes in unison, and the war begins. From the opening seconds, Clarkson comes forward, trying to test Bivol's composure with early aggression. It's exactly what analysts predicted. Clarkson needing to set the tone, needing to push the champion backward, needing to rumble early before Bivol can settle into that dangerous surgical rhythm. But what follows is the moment the entire narrative begins to tilt. Bivol fires a quick, sharp right hand down the middle, clinical, fast, almost invisible. Clarkson reacts a beat too late, his head snapping back as he stumbles into retreat. Suddenly, the aggressor becomes the hunted. The commentary team immediately feels the shift. He's in trouble. There's his test. And that test becomes a trial by fire. Bivol's precision becomes the defining force of the round. Right hand, another right hand, a lead right hand thrown like a javelin, straight, piercing, perfectly timed. Every punch has purpose. Not a single shot wasted. Clarkson tries circling, tries resetting, but Bivol keeps stepping into perfect range, balancing his weight like a statue in motion. Behind each punch is a calmness that feels unnerving, a man who understands the geometry of violence. Clarkson is rocked along the ropes, taking clean shots he can't seem to register in time. Then comes the first knockdown. A crisp right hand detonates on Clarkson's chin, and he drops to the canvas. The ref begins the count. The crowd rises. Clarkson struggles upright, brave, determined, but shaken to the core. And before he can fully recover, Bivol goes right back to work. Triple right hands, combinations, body shots followed by headshots. Clarkson tries to hold, but his instincts betray him. He tries to punch back, but he's swinging at shadows. By the end of round one, Clarkson returns to his corner, battered, bruised, and already deep in a hole. His team pleads with him to move, to breathe, to reset. But the truth is clear. Bivol's technical avalanche has begun, and the storm is only intensifying. Round two opens with Clarkson attempting the advice from his corner. Movement, distance, survival. But Bivol isn't fooled for a moment. He stalks with silent pressure, using the jab like a measuring tool, creating the exact room he needs to launch that surgical right hand. His balance is impeccable. His footwork light and economical. Every advance is deliberate, every retreat calculated. Clarkson tries stepping on Bivol's foot, tries disrupting rhythm, but nothing works. Bivol's calmness becomes suffocating, his poise overwhelming. When he throws, he lands. When he retreats, he forces Clarkson back into danger. It is a systematic dissection. Punch stats paint the truth brutally. Clarkson landing just 9%. Bivol over 40%. Each round widening the gap between hope and reality. Clarkson's face begins to swell, red patches forming as Bivol's jabs carve through his guard. The commentators note it. Clarkson giving nothing back, offering no threat to slow Bivol down. The Russian reads every movement, anticipates every plan before it forms. His amateur pedigree, over 300 bouts, shows in every second. Midway through round 3, the damage becomes even more visible. A stiff jab sends Clarkson backward. Another right hand follows. Then another, like a machine calibrated to perfection. Clarkson lunges in, trying to make something happen, but he runs directly into a short right hand that nearly buckles him again. The ref watches carefully, evaluating the diminishing resistance. Clarkson's punches come slower now, his confidence leaking away with each exchange. By the end of the third, Clarkson looks like a man fighting gravity itself. His legs are heavy, his reactions dulled, his breathing ragged. Meanwhile, Bivol returns to his corner unmarked, expressionless, as though he has just completed another round of sparring. The gap in class is widening, and the clock is ticking on Clarkson's survival. Round 4 begins with the haunting sense that the end is near. Clarkson still comes forward because that's who he is, but the strength behind his steps is fading. Bivol immediately resumes his rhythm, touching Clarkson with the jab, stepping out of range, stepping back in with brutal accuracy. Clarkson responds with perhaps his best punch of the fight, a right hand to the head. But even that moment of success is met with harsh reality. Bivol absorbs it, reassesses, then drills a right hand to the body, exploiting Clarkson's widening elbows. The body shot digs beneath the ribs, and Clarkson's expression twists in pain. Then the beating accelerates. A 3-punch combination snaps Clarkson's head back. Another straight right hand drives him into the ropes. The referee moves closer. The crowd senses the imminent collapse. Clarkson tries covering up, but too many shots are sliding through, piercing the guard, shaking the foundation. Bivol's attacks are relentless but controlled. No wildness, no recklessness, only the precision of a surgeon closing the operation. And then it happens. Clarkson, trying to fight fire with fire, rushes forward. But Bivol meets him with a perfectly timed right hand. Clarkson runs straight into it. His body folds backward, crashing to the canvas. The referee begins the count as Clarkson blinks up at the lights, dazed, disoriented, unable to comprehend the speed and accuracy that put him there. He rises, courageous but broken. The ref wipes his gloves, looks into his eyes, and sees everything he needs to see. Clarkson is done. Seconds later, Bivol lands another right hand, the final confirmation that the fight must end. The referee waves it off. Clarkson protests faintly, but his body tells a different story. He has endured too much, absorbed too many clean shots, fought with too much heart, but not enough answers. The fight is over, and the stoppage comes as mercy, not punishment. As the bell is silenced and the referee steps between them, a strange quiet fills the arena. A moment of respect for both men. Clarkson, battered but unbroken in spirit, returns to his corner to regroup, knowing he gave everything he had against a fighter operating several levels above. Across the ring, Dmitry Bivol stands composed, barely breathing hard, the sheen of sweat on his forehead, the only evidence he's been in a fight. He doesn't gloat, he doesn't celebrate wildly, he simply waits, hands at his side, like a soldier awaiting orders. The ring announcer steps forward. Ladies and gentlemen, the end comes at 1 minute 40 seconds of the fourth round. Your winner by technical knockout, still undefeated, and still the interim WBA light heavyweight champion, Dmitry Bivol. The crowd erupts, applauding the mastery they've just witnessed. It wasn't just a win. It was a demonstration, a message, a statement of intent from a fighter destined for world-level greatness. Bivol's style, disciplined, tactical, ice-cold, has once again dismantled a dangerous opponent without a hint of panic. He fought like a man who knows where he's going, who he wants to become, and what throne he intends to claim. Clarkson's corner gathers around their fighter, consoling him, encouraging him, reminding him that stepping into the ring with a rising force like Bivol is an act of bravery few understand. Clarkson showed heart. He never quit. He came to win. But on this night, technical brilliance overwhelmed raw determination. As the cameras flash and the replays roll, one truth becomes undeniable. Dmitry Bivol did not just win, he announced himself. With every precise jab, every perfect right hand, every calculated step, he painted the portrait of a future champion. The arena slowly empties, but the memory of this performance lingers like an echo. This was not merely a fight. It was the rise of a force the light heavyweight division would soon learn to fear and respect.